Yes, sir.
Okay. In the last class, we are discussing about what are the characteristics of DC generator. Before that, we already discussed about how the buildup of EMF, what is critical speed, and what is critical field resistance. So, what are the conditions to build up the voltage? What are the conditions required to build up of the voltage? ఏమేం కావాలమ్మా మనకి in order to build up the voltage?
Conductors related motion.
What are the main conditions? Requirement, not main conditions.
Maintain some residual voltage.
It must contain some residual voltage or residual flux. Next,
Connection should be in proper manner.
the field winding connection must be in proper manner. If field winding is wrong manner, the residual flux becomes zero. The third one,
The resistance should be greater than the critical field resistance.
the field winding resistance must be greater than
Critical field resistance
the speed of the generator must be.
should be less than the critical speed.
These are the conditions required to build up of the voltage. If any conditions fail, we could not develop the voltage. Now, with the help of these four conditions, we are build up the voltage. The build up of the voltage, having closed circuit, it flows the current. That current will be applied to the electrical loads. That current will be applied to the electrical load. Now, due to the variation of IF, we are getting rated induced voltage. This induced voltage will be applied to the electrical loads VL and IF. The voltage across the load is VL. The current flowing through the load is IF. These are the four parameters in case of four quantities in case of generator. When you are drawing the graph versus EC between EG versus IF, it is known as open circuit characteristics or no load characteristics or magnetic characteristics. This is the characteristics work of DC generator. When you are plotting the graph between induced voltage versus field current, it is no load characteristics or open circuit character, magnetic characteristics. The second one is internal characteristics. Here internally we are having induced voltage and current flowing through the armature winding. That is EG versus IF. Next one we are having external characteristics. VL versus IF. Because we are externally connecting the electrical load. This is generator armature where we are producing the induced voltage. Here in the armature winding we are flowing the armature current. This induced voltage will be applied to the external load. The voltage across this load is load. Voltage across this one is VL. Current flowing in this one is IF. When you are plotting the graph between EG versus IF, it is no load characteristics or open circuit characteristics. When you are plotting the graph between EG versus IF, it is internal quantities. That's why internal characteristics. When you are plotting the graph between VL versus IF, these are the external quantities. That's why these are named as external characteristics. We are having different types of generators. One is separately actuated generator, self-actuated generator. For the separately actuated generators, what are the characteristics? These three. And similarly, for the self-actuated generators, we are having three types: series, shunt, and compound generators. For among all the cases, what are the characteristics of DC generator? Now we will discuss. First one is characteristics of DC generator when it is separately excited. When it is separately excited. In case of separately excited generator, the field current required to the field winding is supplied with the help of some external DC source. Here, the field winding this one RHS, the current required to the field winding is supplied with the help of some external DC source, that is known as separately regulated DC generator. As the supply given, it gives certain amount of field current IF. Here it is a DC supply, that's why it is constant voltage, either 2 volts or 10 volts. DC supply means we can vary up to 30 volts max in our laboratory with the help of RPS. Otherwise, we can give the directly supply DC volts, maximum voltage is 220 volts. With the help of RPS, we are getting 30 volts. Otherwise, with the help of DC generator, we can get the voltage 220 volts. Now, by applying the DC voltage, it gets certain amount of field current. Here we are having some variable resistance. We are having some variable resistance. By varying this resistance, we can increase the current flowing through this flow. Initially, the resistance is maximum. Then field current is minimum. We are applying certain small amount of field current. After that, we are keep on decreasing the resistance. The current flowing through the field winding is increasing. As the field current increases, the generated voltage in the DC generator increases up to its rated value. Generated voltage increases up to its rated value. We already discussed about how the EMF build up in case of separately and self-excited generators. In both the cases, the procedure is same. It is build up the voltage up to its rated voltage, 220 volts. When you are getting the slope of this characteristic, it represents resistance, field winding resistance. These are the no load saturation curve or no load characteristics or open circuit characteristics. Because in order to obtain this curve, we are always opening this external load. We are always keep open this external load. That's why these are named as no load characteristics or open circuit characteristics, because the load switch is always open. Another name is it is magnetic characteristics, because the individual EMF varies with respect to the field current. The field current depends upon the flux produced in the winding. That's why it also named as magnetic characteristics, magnetization characteristics. The next characteristic is internal characteristics. Internal characteristics. Here, as the armature rotates at rated speed, we are given rated field current. It generates rated voltage like this. When there is no load, its voltage is constant 220 volts. This one reference with the curve 1. But when the load is applied by closing this switch, by closing the switch, we are getting here when switch is closed, we are getting the flow of armature current and load current, because these two are connected in series, IA equal to IA. When armature current flows in the winding, it produces certain amount of armature flux. Here in the field winding, we are getting, with the help of this IF, we are getting certain amount of field current. This is phi F. When we are closing the switch, we are getting flux phi F. Now, this armature flux, individual armature flux, will affect this main field flux or field flux. The individual armature flux will affect the field flux. The effect of armature flux on main field flux is known as armature reaction. The effect of main field flux, the armature flux on main field flux is known as armature reaction. This flux may be adding with main field flux. This flux may be subtracts the main field flux, or this flux may be cuts the main field flux like this. Here the main field flux flows in this direction. The armature flux flows in this direction. Depending upon flux adding, flux subtracting, or crossing, we are having magnetic armature reaction or demagnetic armature reaction and cross magnetization. We are having different magnetization, demagnetization, and cross magnetization. Depending upon this armature flux links with the main field flux, we are having magnetic characteristics, demagnetic characteristics, and cross magnetic characteristics. So due to armature reaction, the flux may be distorted and we are not supplying the rated amount of flux. When we are not supplying the rated amount of flux, the induced voltage will be decreases up to certain amount from the rated voltage. The induced voltage may be decreases from the rated value to this some reduced voltage shown in figure with the dotted lines 2. Here this curve reference drop due to the armature reaction. Initially we are having the rated voltage is 220, but due to armature reaction the voltage may be reduced 210 to 210 volts when you are applying the rated amount of flux. This one represents the internal characteristics. Here external characteristics means we know the induced EMF equation E equal to V plus IA RE. V plus IA RE. From this one we are getting the load voltage is V minus IA RE. From the induced EMF we are subtracting the armature resistance drop, then we are getting external characteristics. External characteristics. That is reference V equal to E minus IA RE. From the induced voltage we are subtracting armature reaction, the armature resistance drop, we are getting external characteristics. Initially we are having rated voltage like this. With the help of armature reaction we are getting this one. Again armature resistance drop is this one. This one rated voltage under no load condition. This is armature reaction drop. This is armature resistance. These are the characteristics of DC generator when it is separately excited. Next we are having self-excited DC generators. Self-excited DC generator. If you have any doubts in these characteristics, ask me. Hello? Anyone can respond. If you have any doubts regarding the previous characteristics, anyone can ask doubts. Hello?
Sir,
If you have
Sir?
any doubt,
so once I have done that characteristics.
okay. Only separately excited or from starting one?
So separately,
Okay. So mainly we are having, with the help of this field current, we are getting the induced voltage. This induced voltage will be applied to the external load VL and I. Based upon these four quantities, we are having three characteristics of DC generator. First one is induced EMF versus field current. As the field current changes, what happens to induced EMF? Next one is internal characteristics. Internal quantities are EZ versus I. External characteristics are VL versus I. We already studied about as the field current increases, how the EMF induced. When field current is 0, it produces some residual voltage due to residual flux. It will be increases up to its rated voltage. This is we are operating under no load. We are not applying any load. But after some applying of some certain amount of load, we are closing the switch, load switch. Due to closed circuit, the load current, armature current will be close through the load because these two are connected in series. So it is armature load will be connected. When we are closing the switch, we are having closed circuit. The current flows through the closed circuit. Current flowing through the armature winding is same as current flowing through the load. During this case, we are rotating the armature at rated speed, and also we are supplying the rated flux and rated speed. When you are given the rated flux and rated speed, we are getting the rated voltage. Now I am closing the switch. Under no load condition, we are getting the rated voltage like this. Due to the closing of switch, the armature current will through the load. Due to this armature current, it produces armature flux. With the help of this field current, we are getting the main field flux phi f. With the help of this armature current, we are getting the armature flux. The armature flux will affect the main field flux. Either it is addition of phi f plus phi a or phi f minus phi a, or phi a crosses the phi f like this. That is cross magnetized. Means the effect of armature flux on main field flux is known as armature reaction. The effect of main field flux is known on the effect of armature flux on main field flux is known as armature reaction. Due to this armature reaction, we are not getting the rated flux when you are applying load. Here, up to now, we are given rated flux. But when you are closing the switch, we are not getting the rated flux due to armature reaction. Then, as the EMF, as the flux, rated flux decreases, EMF equation is equal to phi Z n by 60 into T by. As the flux decreases, EMF also decreases. Here we are keep on increasing the armature current. As the armature current increases, armature flux distortion will be increases. Initially there is no distortion, we are having rated flux, we are getting rated voltage. As the armature current increases, the flux distortion may be increases, armature reaction is increases. Now the voltage is decreases from 220 volts to 10 volts. This drop occurs due to the armature reaction. These are the characteristics of DC versus IA. As the armature current increases, what happens to the induced EMF? So as the armature current increases, flux distortion increases. Flux distortion increases means rated flux applied to the armature winding decreases. Armature winding flux decreases, the rated voltage will be decreases up to some 220 volts to 210 volts. This is the internal characteristics of DC generator. After that, we need to get the external characteristics. Here both the load and armature windings connected in series. That's why IL equal to IA means VL versus IA also same because IL is equal to IA. Here we are getting the load terminal voltage VL equal to by subtracting the induced voltage with armature resistance DC minus IA RA. ఇక్కడ IARA డ్రాప్ అనేది ఇనిషియల్ గా 210 volts ఈ డ్రాప్ సమ్ 5 volts అనుకోండి 210 minus 5 volts means it gives 205 volts. Now we are getting the armature external characteristics like this. External characteristics below the internal characteristics because we need to subtract the armature resistance drop from the internal characteristics. The drop regulate చేస్తే the external characteristics always below the internal characteristics. Okay, Manav, you can understand? Hello,
So,
are you understand or not?
yes, sir.
Okay, now we can go for characteristics of DC shunt generator. In the previous case, we are given the excitation to the field winding with the help of some external DC source. But in this case, we are given the field current required to this field winding. This field winding is with the help of this armature winding. Now, in order to get the open circuit characteristics, we are removing this field winding. We are removing this field winding from the armature circuit and given some small voltage in order to give the some residual flux. This will be placed in the rotating armature. So, here, initially, in order to get the no load characteristics, we are opening the switch. We are opening the switch. We are not applying any load. When you are given the rated voltage, some small amount of this voltage, we are getting small amount of flux. That is residual flux. With the residual flux, we are getting residual voltage. With this residual voltage, it produces certain amount of small field current. This field current produces certain amount of flux. This flux will be added to the residual flux and keep on field current increases, voltage increases. Like this, it will be cumulative process up to reach the rated voltage. As the field current increases, induced EMF also increases. The open circuit characteristics for separately excited generator and self-excited generator, both are same. If you are taking any type of generator, the open circuit characteristics is same for all the generators. The internal and external characteristics may be differ. Internal and external characteristics only differ. The open circuit characteristics for all the generators is similar. Initially, we are having some residual voltage. Its keep on increases up to its rated value. We are seeing the theory. These generators are mostly frequently employed because no separate DC source for excitation is there. These are the self-excited generators. That's why mostly we are using DC shunt generator for applications. So in order to get the no load characteristics or open circuit characteristics, these characteristics for self-excited shunt generator can be plotted with the help of this circuit diagram by keeping the switch open, because it is no load characteristics, means we are not applying any load. After getting the rated voltage, we are closing the switch. We are closing this. If the field circuit of shunt generator is disconnected from the armature circuit and separately excited, that's why open circuit characteristics of separately excited generator and self-excitation both are same. Here, the field winding of the armature, this circuit will be extracted from the armature circuit and given some DC supply. Then no load characteristics with the separate excitation will not different from obtained with shunt generator. Here it is similar for separately excited generator. This is all about open circuit characteristics. These are similar for both separately and self-excited generators. Now, internal and external characteristics. Internal and external characteristics. In the previous case, it is separately excited generator. The armature and load both are connected in series. That's why IA is equal to IA. IA equal to IA. But in this case, the field winding is connected in parallel with the shunt field winding is connected in parallel with IS. So before switch open, ideally the induced EMF does not depend on the load current. The induced EMF does not depend on the load current. But as the load on DC shunt generator increases, as the load on DC shunt generator increases, its load current increases. The load current increases. Here the load current is getting from the armature. IA equal to IL plus ISH. We have seen the circuit diagram. This armature winding supplies current IA, which is supplied to the shunt field winding and load. As the load current increases, in order to give the increased load current, in order to meet the increased load current, the armature current also increases. As the armature current increases, the flux produced by the armature winding increases. This increased armature flux will affect the main field flux. Then we are getting the armature reaction. The effect of armature flux on main field flux is known as armature reaction. Due to armature reaction, the flux will be distorted. We are getting the reduced flux. Due to the reduced flux, we are getting the voltage drop. If you are seeing the plot, before applying the load, we are having rated voltage. It is represented with the help of dotted lines. But due to armature reaction, as the load increases, load current increases. In order to meet the increased load current increases, the flux produced by the armature winding also increases the main field flux. As the flux will be distorted, VL versus IL. Here VL can be obtained by subtracting the armature resistance drop from the individual voltage. When you are subtracting individual voltage with the help of armature resistance drop, we are getting external characteristics. Due to armature reactance, the voltage will be further reduced. So this curve represents the separately excited DC generator. If you keep on increasing the load current, the voltage will be decreases up to certain value and reaches to zero like this. It's not important up to that level. Here we need to know about what are the characteristics of DC shunt generator. The characteristics of DC shunt generator and separately excited generator, both are approximately same. The characteristics of separately excited generator and shunt generator. Even in case of separately excited generator, we are having characteristics similar. Separately excited generator, before applying load, we are having rated voltage. After that, we are having certain amount of armature reaction. After that, we are having certain drop due to armature resistance. For shunt generator also, it is similar. Rated voltage before applying the load. After applying load current increases. Armature current increases. Armature current increases, flux distortion also. That is known as armature reaction. Due to that armature reaction, we will take reduced voltage. In order to get external characteristics, we are including the resistance drop. Then we are getting the external characteristics. For both separately excited generators and DC shunt generator, characteristics are same. Next, we are having series generator, DC series generator. Here these DC series generators are used in transmission lines as a booster. Here these DC series generators are used in transmission line as boosters. I will conclude why we are using these DC series generators as boosters in transmission line. Here the open circuit characteristics are same for each and every generator. Initially the field current is 0. We are having certain amount of residual voltage. It will be increases up to its rated voltage before applying load. This is the open circuit characteristics. Here the field current and armature current and load current all are connected in series. So all the windings are connected in series. That's why IA equal to IF equal to IL. Even if you have draw the graph between VG versus IF, V versus IF, sorry, V versus IL, VG versus IL is nothing but similar to the VG versus IF, V versus IF, VG versus IF. It is varies with respect to the IF or IA or load current. Here we are consider the load current. Because all the windings are armature winding, field winding, and load all are connected in series. In case of series circuit, the current is common quantity. Open circuit characteristics are similar for all the DC generator. The next characteristics are internal characteristics. Here the internal characteristics means we are closing the switch. Due to closed circuit, armature current flows in the load, thus all are connected. As the load increases, load current increases. Load current increases means armature current also increases. Armature current increase అయితే flux అనేది increase అవుతుంది. Flux armature flux అనేది increase అవుతుంది. This armature flux will affect the main field flux. Then we are getting the armature reaction. Due to armature reaction, we are getting the internal characteristic like this. These are the internal characteristics. Because in the previous case, the field current and load current are different. Field current and load current are different. That's why after getting the rated voltage, we are plotting the graph from this one. Initially there is rated voltage before load condition. This is armature reaction. This is armature resistance. But during this case, all are connected in series. Load current also equal to the field current. As the load current increases, when you are including the armature resistance, it is decreases like this. When you are subtracting the armature resistance of external characteristics is below the internal characteristics. All characteristics are below the internal characteristics. Different observe chesara. In case of DC shunt generator and DC series generator. Separately excited DC shunt generator lo field current, load current both are different. That's why get load current. Here we are considering load current. During this case, ISS is different and IL is different. ISS or IF is different and IL is different. That's why we are getting the characteristics. Initially, before applying the load, we are having always rated voltage. After applying the load, we are having armature resistance drop and armature reaction drop. But in case of DC series generator, all are connected in series. That's why the current flowing in the DC series generator is same. That's why we are getting the characteristics like this. From the open circuit characteristics, we are adding the armature reaction drop, we are getting internal characteristics. From the internal characteristics, by adding armature resistance drop, we are getting external characteristics in case of DC series generator. In case of DC series generator. This is the difference characteristics of DC generator. Because all the windings are connected in series, that's why the field current is same. So, with the help of same field current, we are getting these characteristics like this. Characteristics of DC generator, we are getting like this. Here, we are having the characteristics as the load current increases, the induced voltage having rising characteristics. In the previous case, as the load current increases, initially we are having rated voltage, we are having armature reaction drop, armature resistance drop. Here we are having the characteristics are drooping characteristics. As the load increases, we are having reduced voltage. But in case of DC series generator, as the load increases, the voltage also, the individual voltage also increases. Individual voltage also increases. That's why these DC generators are used as booster. Even if you are increasing the load, the individual voltage or generator voltage is increases. It's having rising characteristics. That's why DC series generator used as booster in case of transmission line. In case of transmission. Okay, we're having one more discussion. Okay, in the previous case, we are having only armature resistance one. But during this case, armature winding having some resistance RA and series field winding having resistance RAC. That is the total drop IA into RA plus RAC. This is the total resistance term. IA into RA plus RAC. Okay, next. Characteristics of DC generator already we are seeing. Now characteristics of DC send generator. Characteristics of DC send generator. Sorry, characteristics of DC compound generator. So what is the compound generator? What are the winding it consists? Now anyone can respond. In case of send generator, we are having only send field winding. Send field winding and it's having large number of turns and thin turns. Series field winding, series generator, it's having less number of turns and thick turns. In case of series generator, we are having like this. In case of compound generator, we are having some amount of shunt winding turns and some amount of series winding turns. That's why it is called as compound generator. It is a combination of both series and shunt generator. It's having certain amount of shunt generator windings and also it's having certain amount of series winding turns. We are in case of compound generator, we are having two types. One is long shunt and short shunt. Now, what is the long shunt generator? Anyone can respond. Long shunt compound generator. ఏంటంటారు లాంగ్ షంట్ కాంపౌండ్ జనరేటర్? లాంగ్ షంట్ కాంపౌండ్ జనరేటర్ and short shunt compound generator. Here, in case of long shunt compound generator, the shunt field winding is connected in parallel with series winding and armature winding. మా గుర్తుకొచ్చిందా? Long shunt compound generator. After that, we are connecting electrical load. Before in order to obtain the download characteristics, we are opening the switch. Emma, long shunt compound generator. Do you remember? Now tell me what about short shunt compound generator? Long shunt compound generator means we are connecting the shunt field winding across the series field winding and armature winding. Both are connected in series. Now tell me short shunt compound generator.
If it is parallel with only armature, then it is called short.
In case of short shunt compound generator, the shunt field winding is only in parallel with armature. Then it is known as short shunt compound. After that, we are connecting the series field winding like this. Here we are having the load. This is the difference between short shunt and compound generator. This is long shunt. This is short shunt. Now, how can we get the characteristics of this long shunt and short shunt compound generator? Now before applying the load, what is the current flowing this send field winding and armature winding? Emma, what is the current flowing this send field winding and series field winding and armature winding before closing the switch or before applying the load? All are same or different? Hello? Here I am not closing the switch. There is no path here for the flow of current. That's why the individual armature current will flow through the series winding because these two are connected in series. After that, here we are having open switch. There is no path for current flowing. That's why after that armature current flowing out in this direction. Means in case of long shunt compound generator under no load condition, means when you are opening the switch or not applying any load, the current flowing through the series field and send field are same. Same current flows through the series field and send field. Because here we are having the switch open, there is no path for current flow. The individual armature current will flow through the send field winding. And also the send field winding having more number of turns and series field winding having less number of turns. So if you are having N1 turns, if you are having N2 turns. As N1 is greater than N2, the flux flow divided by the send field winding also is greater than phi1 is greater than phi2, and also it is greater than means the number of series field turns is far less than that of send field turns. N1 is greater than N2. That's why flux produced by send field winding is greater than flux produced by the series field winding. That's why the effect of series field MMF may be neglected. The effect of series field MMF may be neglected in comparison with send field MMF. That's why it is we are neglecting the send field series field winding MMF, and we are neglecting the series field winding MMF. We are getting like this. Now it represents what type of generator? When you are neglecting the series field MMF, its value is lesser value and neglecting it. Then it is represents what type of generator? Emma, anyone can respond.
Self-excited generator.
What?
Self-excited generator.
Send field winding series లో ఉందా parallel గా ఉందా ఆర్మేచర్?
Parallel ones.
Parallel గా ఉంటే ఏమంటారు? వైండింగ్ ఏం జనరేటర్ అంటారు? Send field winding is connected in parallel with చూడండి armature winding and send field winding both are connected in parallel. What type of generator it is? Hello? Respond కాండి, మీరు రెస్పాండ్ కాకుండా కష్టం.
Precision generators.
When you are connecting that field winding across the armature, then it is DC send generator. Here we are neglecting the series field MMF, means we are neglecting series field winding. Then it is long shunt generator similar to the DC send generator. DC send generator. After that, when you are coming for short shunt compound generator, before applying the load, the current flowing in the series field winding is 0. ISA is 0. The flux produced by the series field winding also 0. ISA is equal to 0. Now current produced by the armature it directly flows through the send field winding. This is also similar to the send field winding. అంతే కదమ్మా, ఆర్మేచర్కి డైరెక్ట్గా అక్రాస్ గా సెంట్ ఫీల్డ్ వైండింగ్ కనెక్ట్ చేసాం. ద షార్ట్ షంట్ కాంపౌండ్ జనరేటర్ ఆల్సో సిమిలర్ టు ది DC shunt generator when we are not applying any load. Load apply చేయకముందు short shunt and long shunt compound generator having open circuit characteristics or no load characteristics similar to the DC shunt generator. DC shunt generator లో ఏమవుతుంది, initially residual voltage after that keep on increases up to its rated. Open circuit characteristics అనేవి long shunt and short shunt compound generator కి DC shunt generator ఎట్లా ఉంటుందో సేమ్ అట్లే వస్తుంది. This is open circuit characteristics of compound generator. We are seeing the theory. Under no load condition, the current flowing through the series and circuit terms is same because these two are connected like this. And also the series field winding having less number of turns. That's why flux produced by the series field winding we are neglecting. Then it is same to the DC shunt generator. Before closing the switch, the current flowing through the series field winding is 0 in case of short shunt compound generator. And also that's why the short shunt compound generator also treated as DC shunt generator. Open circuit characteristics of compound generator is similar to open circuit characteristics of DC shunt generator. The next one is external characteristics. External characteristics. Here we are having shunt field winding, it produces shunt field flux 5SS. Due to large number of turns, it produces high amount of flux, high amount of shunt field flux. Due to series field winding, it produces 5SC. Each having less number of turns, that's why it produces less amount of flux. Now these two fluxes may be either adding like this 5SH plus 5S. These two fluxes may be either adding or either subtracting 5SH minus 5S, or otherwise 5SH is higher value. Now during this case, flux is having high amount of flux. As the flux increases, induced voltage is increases. It is cumulative compound generator. It is cumulative compound generator. When the shunt field winding flux and series field winding flux both are in additive manner, then it is cumulative compound generator. The shunt field winding flux and series field winding flux both are in subtractive manner. It is differential compound generator. It is differential compound generator. Here, due to high amount of flux, it will be either voltage increases like this. It is over compound generator, or otherwise due to differential compound generator, the voltage may be decreases like this. The voltage may be decreases like this. It is differential compound generator. Here, in case of cumulative compound generator, the flux may be either increases up to E is greater than B, or E equal to B, or E less than B. You can maintain these three conditions. The induced voltage is may be greater than the its load voltage, or we can maintain the induced voltage is equal to load voltage, or induced voltage is less than the load voltage. Depending upon these characteristics, we are classified into cumulative compound generators: over compound generator, under compound generator, and flat compound generator. Over compound means the induced voltage is greater than voltage. Under compound means the induced voltage is less than operating voltage. This flat compound means induced voltage is equal to its terminal voltage. These are the three different types of cumulative compound generator when series field winding flux and shunt field winding fluxes are adding. This is the construction type of winding we are using in case of cumulative and differential component. We are having the pole core like this. Now, in order to add the flux, the entering of currents for both the series field winding and center field winding are similar. But in case of differential compound generator, the entering of currents is similar. ఇక్కడ చూడండి కరెంట్ ఇట్లా ఇక్కడ ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది, ఈ కరెంట్ ఇక్కడ ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది. That's why we are getting flux phi equal to phi hs minus phi s. Depending upon winding connection, the flux may be either adding or flux may be either subtracting. That is cumulative compound generator and differential compound generator. Shunt generator అయితే ఓన్లీ shunt field winding మాత్రమే ఇక్కడ ఇస్తారు. Series field winding అయితే ఓన్లీ series field winding మాత్రమే ఇస్తారు. It is a compound generator. That's why on the pole core we are placing both shunt field winding and series field winding. Some part of the pole core will be placed with the help of shunt field winding. Some part of the pole core will be placed on the pole core is series field winding. This is all about characteristics of DC compound generator and all the generators. Okay. If you have any doubts in the characteristics of DC generators or all the generators, ask your. I will give 2 minutes time. If you have any doubts, ask. If you don't have any doubts, we can go for the next topic. Please, what is the armature reaction? What is the commutation? Anyone can respond. I think all of you understand. అట్లీస్ట్ ఒక ఇద్దరైనా రెస్పాండ్ ఇస్తుందా? మీకు అర్థమవుతుందా లేదా? మాకు అట్లా ఎట్లా తెలుస్తుంది? No doubts, sir. From girl side, anyone can respond. Okay. Because the two definitions are important for your exam. They are asking for 2 marks. What is armature reaction and what is commutation? Now, what is the armature reaction? Armature reaction. Up to now, we are discussing why we are getting the reduced amount of voltage from the no load to when you are applying certain amount of load. This is the no load voltage 220 volts. So after that, when you are applying the load, we are getting the reduced amount of voltage. Why we are getting this reduced amount of voltage? Hello? ఎందుకు వస్తుంది మా reduced amount of voltage?
Armature.
Huh?
Armature reaction.
Okay. As the load increases, the armature current increases. Due to this armature current, it produces a certain amount of armature flux. This armature flux will affect the flux produced by the poles, flux produced by the main field flux. That is known as armature reaction. The effect of armature flux on main field flux is known as armature reaction. The flux, this effects may be cross magnetization. Cross magnetization means the armature flux may be flows in this direction like this. The main field flux flows in this direction. This is cross magnetization. Otherwise, demagnetization of flux. Demagnetization of flux means phi f minus phi f. Armature flux e direction flow okay. Main field flux e direction flow. Both are moving in opposite direction. That is phi f minus phi f. It reduces the flux. Reduction of net flux or distortion of air gap. That's why we are getting the reduced amount of EMF, because the induced EMF is directly proportional to the flux equal to 5 Zn by 60 into Pw. As the flux decreases, induced EMF is decreases. is all about armature reaction. The effect of armature flux on main field flux is known as armature reaction. As the flux decreases, its individual voltage and terminal voltage both are decreasing. But in case of motor, we are having one relation EB equal to 5Zn by 60 into P by N. The individual EMF equation is E equal to 5 Z N by 60 into P by N. So from this one, what is the relation between flux and speed? What is the relation between flux and speed?
Directly.
Here, for this one, flux and speed. What is the relation? We are taking flux equation. Flux equal to E into 60 into A divided by Z into N. Now tell me flux and speed relation. ఎట్లుంది?
Inversely proportional.
Oh, speed is inversely proportional to flux. Means as the flux decreases, speed is increases. In case of motor, speed is increased and torque is reduced. Where the torque is directly proportional to flux and armature current. In case of motor, this second unit we can discuss about these two relations. As the flux decreases, torque is reduced. So what are the consequences due to the reduction of flux in case of motor and generator? జనరేటర్లో అయితే ఫ్లక్స్ రెడ్యూస్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి ఈఎంఎఫ్ రెడ్యూస్ అవుతుంది. ఈఎంఎఫ్ రెడ్యూస్ అవుతుంది కాబట్టి టర్మినల్ వోల్టేజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు V minus IA. Terminal voltage also reduces. Now next definition, what is the commutation? What is the commutation? Now how can we collect the current from the armature conductors? Armature conductors నుంచి మన కరెంట్ అనేది ఎట్లా కలెక్ట్ చేస్తాము? With the help of
Brushes.
brushes and commutator. So the brushes and commutator both are connected on armature shaft. These two are used for collection of armature current from the armature conductors. Here we are getting what type of current in case of armature current? Armature conductor. What is the nature of current in case of
AC.
armature current? We are having the AC current. But when you are collecting the current from the armature conductors to the external load, what type of current flowing in the external load?
For using split rings, it is AC. After using DC.
Okay. By using the split rings, we are getting the DC current. Here initially we are having current like this, AC. Now we need to convert this current into this pulsating DC. Means during the negative cycle, we need to change the direction of armature current from minus IA to plus IA. We need to change the current direction from minus IA to plus IA through the commutator, that is split rings. The commutator reach చేయడం వల్లే కదా మనకు మారుతాం. And also with the help of brushes. With the help of this commutator and brushes, we are changing the direction of current from negative to the positive. Commutation is the process of reversal of current in armature coil through the commutator segment and brushes. The reversal of armature current in the armature coil through the commutator segment and brushes. It is known as commutation. The reversal of armature current in the armature coil through commutator segment and brushes is known as commutation. Actually, this topic is not in your syllabus. In the commutation also we are having two types of commutation. One is linear commutation and delayed commutation. Up to in your syllabus, there is no commutation topic, but they are asking for 2 marks. That's why just you remember the definition of commutation. The reversal of armature current in armature coil through commutator segments and brushes, known as commutation. The armature reaction topic also is not in your syllabus, but remember the definition because they are asking for 2 marks. The effect of armature flux on main field flux is known as armature reaction. These are the 2 definitions asking beyond the syllabus. Beyond the syllabus, these 2 definitions are asking for your external examination. In our first unit, the last topic is applications. So up to now, we have studied about characteristics of DC generators. We are having, in case of separately excited generators, as the load current increases, before applying the load, we are having rated voltage 220. But when you are applying the rated voltage, due to armature resistance, rated voltage decreases. Due to armature reaction, after that armature resistance applies this one. This one represents no load characteristics. This one represents internal characteristics. This one represents external characteristics. A separately excited generator and shunt generator and compound generator also having similar characteristics like this. But when you are taking a DC series generator, all are connected in series. That's why it's having rising characteristics. This is curve 1. When you are including the armature reaction drop, this is curve 2. When you are including the armature resistance drop and the series field winding resistance drop, this is curve 2. Curve 1 represents open circuit characteristics. Curve 2 represents internal characteristics. Curve 3 represents external characteristics. This is for shunt generator. This is for series generator. So in case of shunt generator, the rated voltage is 220 volts. Due to armature reaction, we are getting some small amount of the voltage reduction is 5 volts and consider it is 215. The armature resistance having small amount of resistance. That's why we are having small amount of drop due to armature resistance. It is 210 volts. Means the change in voltage from no load to full load is enta change ayindima 220 volts nunchi 210 volts change ayindi. The change in voltage from no load to full load is 10 volts. That's why it is approximately equal to the E is approximately equal to the no load voltage even if I keep on increasing the load. That's why the DC shunt generator having grouping characteristics, Vt is nearly constant. Our individual voltage is nearly equal to the terminal voltage or load voltage. It's having constant voltage from no load to full load. Means at no load we are having 220 volts. At full load we are having 210 volts. There is not much change in voltage from no load to full load. That's why it can be used as voltage source. What is the definition of voltage source? If you are dealing with 10 volts DC source, means it always supplies 10 volts to the external circuit. If you are dealing with 10 volts DC source, means it always supplies 10 volts voltage to the whatever the circuit we are connecting. That's why it is having constant voltage from no load to full load. So it can be used as voltage source. Auxiliary power supply. Auxiliary power supply means it is one backup supply. One is backup supply. It can be used as one type of backup supply because the voltage changing from no load to full load is very small amount. Next, we can use it for battery charges. We can use it for battery charges and also use it for lightning purpose. It is constantly give the constant voltage from each and every time, but from no load to full load. That's why it's used for lighting purpose. These are also some applications for, and also in case of synchronous machines, in order to excite the field winding, we are using DC shunt generator. Here from no load to full load, a small amount of change in voltage occur in case of DC shunt generator. That's why the terminal voltage is always constant. That purpose, these are used as either voltage source or auxiliary power supply for the battery charges and lighting purpose. And also in case of DC synchronous machines, it is used for excitation of field winding. These are the applications of shunt generator, and why you are using for these applications, because the voltage is constant from no load to full load. Next one is DC series generator. What are the applications of DC series generator? If you have seen the DC series generator characteristics, it's having rising characteristics. As the load increases, its voltage is increases. As the load increases, its voltage is decreases, having rising characteristics. Here, drooping characteristics means as the load increases, its voltage is decreases like this. External characteristics are rising in nature, so the terminal voltage is variable one. Here, the voltage is variable one. When you are having no load, its voltage is 10 volts. Here, the voltage is from 180 volts. Means the voltage is increased in manner. According to load condition, it is used for booster in transmission, because as the load increases, its voltage is increases. In order to boost up the transmission lines with the in terms of voltage, the DC series generator is used. It's having rising characteristics. That's why DC series generators are used as boosters in transmission lines. The next generator is compound generator. So the compound generator also similar to the shunt generator, because we are already discussed in case of characteristics of compound generator. Here we are discussing characteristics of compound generator. When you are neglecting the series field winding turns, series field MMF, long shunt generator is similar to the shunt generator, and also the short shunt generator also similar to the DC shunt generator. That's purpose. The compound generators applications are similar to the DC shunt generator. The change in voltage from no load to full load is small value. Can be used as voltage source, auxiliary power supply, battery charges, and lighting purpose. It is for cumulative compound generator, because the 5SS and 5S both are in adding value. But in case of differential compound generator, it is 5SH minus 5S. Here, as the load increases, we are getting the voltage is very small amount of voltage. Very small amount of voltage. That's why these are used for arc welding purpose. These are used for arc welding purpose. When the voltage is very low amount, we are getting voltage is zero. Voltage zero అనేది ఎప్పుడు అవుతుంది? Voltage zero అంటే దాన్ని ఏమంటారు? That is known as short circuit. During the short circuit condition, voltage is equal to zero. During that case, high amount of current flowing will be appear to the conductor or terminal. When voltage is equal to zero, during that case, high amount of short circuit current will be flowing through the conductor or that terminal. Due to this high amount of short circuit current, we are getting electrodes heating. Electrodes heating. Electrodes heat avadam valla we can join the metal items or iron items. That purpose, we are using the differential compound generators for arc welding purpose. Arc welding purpose ante, in case of short circuit condition, it flows for the high amount of current. High amount of current will be used for the production of electrodes. That electrodes will be used for welding purpose. That's why differential compound generator is used for arc welding purpose. Here, as the flux decreases, induced voltage decreases. Induced voltage decreases means terminal voltage also decreases. Voltage decreases ante షార్ట్ సర్క్యూట్ కరెంట్ అనేవి ఎక్కువ ఫ్లో అవుతాయి. ఎక్కువ ఫ్లో కరెంట్ ఫ్లో అయినప్పుడు ఎలక్ట్రోడ్స్ అనేవి ఫార్మ్ అవుతాయి. విత్ ద హెల్ప్ ఆఫ్ దట్ ఎలక్ట్రోడ్స్ వీ కెన్ యూస్ ఆర్ వెల్డింగ్. These are the applications of compound generator, cumulative compound and differential compound. What are the applications of separate excited generator? These two are the applications of separately excited generator. In case of separately excited generator also, the terminal voltage is approximately common, but as we keep on we are increasing the load, we are having looping characteristics like this. Looping characteristics like this. Depending upon this looping